Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana, the hostess with the mostest. Let's get into this. Oh yeah, the snaggletooth one. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. I was talking to the creator. He told me that I should have waited. What I posted yesterday should have gotten posted tonight. I was just so eager to put that information out, so excuse me for moving too fast, okay? But I did kind of want to get into some current events just to kind of support the things that we've been discussing, things that you may have had a hunch on. If you listen to other people, who have similar platforms, or if you just, can basically see, right, beyond what is on the surface. Now, this is a thing, right? We have discussed the cycles that these planets are going in, the cycles that our spirits have to go through in order to prevail, progress, and move into new dimensions. But if there is something that will always be consistent, it is things being done in the dark coming to the light. You can't hide the truth, right? And this goes back to yesterday of us having, just this whole spiritual law and rules and water and land, right? You have to understand, as we phase through, and especially now, because we're in a new dimension, and when I say dimension, I mean we're in a new time zone for multiple reasons. One, because the vibration of all of the universe and everything that it encompasses has been lifted, right? God is literally removing the waste, bringing in new energies, and bringing in energies that need to complete task. That's number one, right? Then we've just had time go back, so that is another telltale sign that the ethers are moving around and opening up portals and closing portals, right? Because if one open portal is here, then that means a portal somewhere had to have been closed, right? It also signifies something new is coming. So in order to stay on task and on track with the energy that we're currently in, we have to be aware of the dimensions that are affecting us directly, not to mention whatever energy may be associated to via your bloodline. And then of course we have whatever is going on with your planet or all of the planets that you are connected to via your birth chart. And of course we can't forget whatever it is that God has for you, right? So all of these different factors are pretty much being like jumbled together all in one, right? For us to really be able to experience multiple different realities at once. And I think a lot of people start forgetting, listen, I don't care what nobody tells you, there are forces outside of you coming against you, right? People always say, oh no, we're at war with ourselves. Indeed, that is true. However, you also have energies that are outside of you that are attempting to push you in a different direction in which you desire to go, in which God has written for you to go, okay? And I think the more and more we start tapping into the higher consciousness, right, of the universe, we'll start to be able to find our place in all of this. There's this misconception that, the answers are in you. The answers are everywhere. The answers are around you. The answers are in you. You have a lot of different things that are going on that will allow you to understand what you're dealing with from different levels, from the lower level, from the higher level, and from where you currently are right now. It's your decision to decide which direction you would like to perceive this thing through, right? I would like to use an hourglass as an analogy, okay? So let's just say you get the hourglass, and it's like half empty, half full, right? Think of that as your perception and where you are spiritually. Of course, we know that the attacks are there. Of course, we know that we are up against things that we can't see, even though sometimes we can see them. If it is indeed a spiritual war, it's a lot that is not physically in your face, okay? Right? And then, obviously, we know that we have God, okay? We have the Creator who has written these things. And you have to learn how to trust the timing and the plan of the Creator. Now, with this hourglass, you can look at this thing through the way God has written it, or you can look at this thing through the attacks that you're experiencing. The choice is yours. Where you are currently is somewhere in the median, and the way that you deal with this is going to determine the direction and the dimension that your soul is going to more than likely travel. No matter what's going on around you, if you're allowing God to guide you, you're going to get through the fog. Even if you can't see, you'll be able to get through it. A lot of us have this misconception, and honestly, the topic was supposed to be about a few other things. Well, I wanted to, but the Creator just wanted me, and mainly the confirmation came in because I had a conversation with someone earlier, and was basically discussing how, we used to be green, and we touched on this in the very beginning, right? Of course, we know that we were green, and we had gold in our blood, right? And because we had come into contact with oxygen, our gold had been oxidated and it was reduced to a different type of metal. And that's where the iron comes from now, right? That's a whole nother subject, but we did discuss it, right? Like I said, in the very beginning of recording, I want to say maybe about 2 years ago, or maybe just coming up on 2 years, right? And I'm bringing this back up because the conversation that I had earlier was confirmation of what I was supposed to say today, because we come from these different timelines. We come from these different realities. Us being a different color and coming into contact with oxygen, and it leading to a chemical reaction that has led to physical changes, right? Obviously, we come from somewhere where there's no oxygen, whether it be beneath the water, outer space, or left field. It doesn't matter. This is just proof that we come from somewhere else other than this plane that we're currently in. So you have to realize, or understand, or think, whatever you want to say, you have to conceptualize this in a way that will get you to think beyond what's in front of you. The dimensions that we come from, you can say, are many things, right? But from my understanding and research, these different timelines are planets. These different timelines are different consciousnesses and different realities. We don't fully understand that we are to place ourselves in certain dimensions because we're so focused on where we are currently. Once you realize what it is the Creator wants you to do, it'll be easier for you to see where it is, that you need to focus on or work towards or work for. Not everything needs you to change it. It just needs you to build and work. And when I say change it, I mean whatever it is that's going on doesn't need to stop. Sometimes you just need to add on to it, whether you're making it better or worse. That's for God to determine, and it's for you to carry it out. And I'm saying that because some people were just sent here to raise hell, and some of us were sent to bring souls closer to the Creator. Again, that is all up to the Creator. We only can tell you what it is that God is wanting us to do, unless He has given you clear instruction in particular sets of gifts to determine what someone else needs. Then you only can focus on where it is that He's taking you, and then everything will start to fall in place. And as time goes on, He will give you bits and pieces. Of course, we get the end goal in the beginning, right? We get the end result in the beginning, and then we eventually start to work towards that. And as we phase through the journey or travel, we start getting directions. But if you notice, the directions don't come until you successfully did one thing, or because you're not exactly doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Okay? So a lot of this is contingent upon your obedience and the desire that God has for you at a particular time. This is kind of like quitting life as you know it cold turkey. Okay? Some people literally can just be living their lives one way, and then literally just wake up one morning and just, it could be like, I done partied all year. Alright, this Saturday I done went out and got drunk and high and had the most adulterous sex and ate the worst food and went against God in every which way you can imagine as a human, and then wake up Sunday morning and say, you know what, God, I'm ready for you to lead me. I'm ready to be obedient. I'm ready to submit myself to you and do what it is that you have been telling me to do, and do what it is, even if you don't know, if you think it's something that God wants you to do. Okay? You have to understand that a lot of the plan of God, remember, has a lot to do with other people that are connected to you. So sometimes you're waiting for your people, sometimes your people are waiting for you. Sometimes it's both. Because remember, if you're connected to someone in spirit, there's eventually somewhere in the ethers where you two are together. And remember, this is a different dimension, a different timeline. And if God hasn't shown you what's going on in these spaces, then you kind of just want to take your time and figure out how you should be moving. You don't want your emotions to dictate your movement, and you don't want your lust, your desires to lead you in directions that God doesn't want you to go. Okay? You're going to feel like it's a tug of war, because it is, for your spirit, not even your flesh. Okay? You're going to feel confused, which it is confusing, and you are going to feel like you're crazy. And in this world, you would be considered crazy because you're not following the status quo. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I do love y'all. I hope all is well. I hope y'all are drinking y'all water, eating y'all fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea. Why? Because it's free. And I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Alright. See y'all later. Love y'all. Peace.